mercy and His grace. We ain't got to worry about getting put up, put off, put out, lights disconnected and this cut off. We'll sustain ourselves. All we ask, just don't bother us. And if you get in our way, look out. I'll tell Daddy on you. Hallelujah. Praise God. We'll make a church if we stay together and pray together and believe in God. All right. Verse 5.
And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully.
If a man strive for mastery, he is not crowned unless he do it lawfully. This is the lawful way of God. It's right here in the book. And if it's not done according to the book, let's say, let me get that 1 Corinthians 11 chapter about the head covering. Why won't churches follow this? Jump right in verse 1 and 2.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
Paul said, follow me, because I'm a follower of Christ.
Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things.
Now you know he's talking to the church. He said, I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things.
And keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Keep the ordinance. Now he's getting ready to give an instruction, verse 5.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonors her head.
Yes.
For that is even all one as if she were shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be veiled.
If it's a shame for a woman to have all her hair shaved off, let her wear a veil. Now the word covered in the Hebrew again means veil. In the Greek, it means veiled. It's not talking about a hat. It's talking about a veil. It ain't talking about a woman's hair. Verse 15 ain't got nothing to do with verses 5 and 6. You're dealing with two Greek verbs. In verse 15, he's talking about a natural covering. I believe the Greek verb is parable. And in verses 5 and 6, he's talking about an artificial covering, the veil, which the Greek verb is kameo. So you're talking about two different things. One is the artificial covering, which is your hair, and the other, which is your veil, and one is your natural covering. So in verse 15, Paul is dealing with masculine and feminine look. But in verse 5 and 6, he's talking about a veil covering. So we have to understand that. Why is this not taught in the churches today? Because they're not teaching for something that seemingly is unpopular. See, if T.D. Jakes, with all the people he got, if he tell his people, when y'all come to church Sunday, all you sisters got to wear a veil covering. See how many people show up. See how many Bentleys he buy next year. They're not preaching for soul. They're preaching for money. And the people too stupid to understand it. They're preaching the itching ears message. Tell me what makes me feel good. Tell me how I can get prosperity. God ain't never died for you to be rich. God died for you to have eternal life in heaven. He never promised you wealth on earth except spiritual wealth. And be contented with what you have spiritually. And He'll supply your needs. But God ain't never told you you're going to have a pocket full of $100 bills. That is a lie from the pits of hell. And all them prosperity preachers, I hope you hear me. And take that back to the devil where you got it from. Jesus said, the poor we have with us always. But what? Rich in faith. But they can get a prayer through. Don't have no fabulous home. But they can talk to God and God will hear them. Hallelujah. Praise be to God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I'm here to tell y'all the truth. Y'all be seated. Sometimes I get caught up there. We have to strive for perfection through the Bible, because that is the only legal way that we can attain a relationship with God, is through obedience to His Word. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word what? Was God. Hallelujah. So I thank God for the Bible class tonight. Now we have a question and answer. Yes. You don't have one?
I didn't get one.
Who didn't get question and answer? All right. All right, let me run through them right quick. Concerning jewels and facial paint, the prophet Ezekiel showed a direct connection from its origin to then to the what people? Question 2. Woman in Revelation represents the woman in Revelation represents a mystery religious movement. It's called what? She kind of typed this up in a hurry. Rome is identified in Revelation 17 as 7 what? Question 4. Revelation 17 shows a connection between the Babylonian cult and the what church? Question 5. Name the 2 apostate movements that directly influence Christianity today. Question 6. The word Easter was never recorded or written by an apostolic writer. True or false? The word Easter first appeared in a Christian context in the book called what? Written by the Catholic priest. What was his name? Question 8. On New Covenant was the first leader to introduce Babylonian festivals and traditions. Who was the first leader to introduce Babylonian festivals and traditions into the Christian church? Question 9. In connecting the Easter egg with this star, she was given the title Goddess of what? Question 10. The prophet Jeremiah called this female goddess. I meant to go there. I didn't get a chance. I'll get a chance to get to it when we hit that question. Question 11. Scholars revealed this cult originated in the land of, I want both places identified. Question 12. The church today is not required to celebrate a Passover feast because, one word, on New Covenant, who is symbolic of the Passover lamb? All right, let's go to question 1. Concerning jewels and facial paint, the prophet Ezekiel showed a direct connection from its origin to Evangelist Wagner. Babylonians, Egyptians, and then to the Hebrew people who were in bondage. Let's quickly prove this in Ezekiel.
Amen.
Where did facial paint and wearing the earrings and all that come from? We'll prove where it came from. Quickly, Ezekiel 23. Here God is using a parable here or a symbolic reference. Let's pick up verse 14 at that time.
And that she increased her whoredoms, for when she saw men portrayed upon the wall, the images of the Chaldeans portrayed with vermilion, girded with girdles upon their loins, exceeding in dyed attire upon their heads, all of them princes to look to, after the manner of the Babylonians of Chaldea, the land of their nativity. After the manner of the Babylonians of Chaldea. Pick up in verse 27. Thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thine eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore.
Verse 40. Now we see the connection. Babylonian into Egypt, and the Hebrew people, when they were in bondage, adopted these customs. All right, now let's pick up in verse 40.
And furthermore, that ye have sent for men to come from far, unto whom a messenger was sent, and lo, they came, for whom thou didst wash thyself, paintest thy eyes, and deckest thyself with ornaments.
Painted your face and decked yourself with jewels. Drop down to verse 48.
Thus will I cause lewdness to cease out of the land, that all women may be taught not to do after your lewdness.
Now that's plain as ABC. Amen. That's Bible. Now we just quickly going to connect that with 1 Timothy 2 and 9. New Testament.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
Now this is a New Testament church. This is under the dispensation of grace, but the apostle is telling women how to dress. Now you can go to churches and they'll say, well, God, he don't have no dress code. God does have a dress code. And here it is right here. In like manner, women adorn themselves. Adorn means to dress. Yes? In modest apparel.
With shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array.
Not with gold, pearls, or costly array or costly dress. And that word means